From sleeping in bed with a man you just met to being shunned by your own mother for wanting an education. Amish women live under some of the strictest rules in America. And the craziest part? The US Supreme Court made some of these practices completely legal. These are 13 extreme rituals Amish women have to follow. And number 7 is going to make your jaw hit the floor. Now, before we dive in, you need to understand something. There are over 40 different Amish groups across America, and they don't all follow the same rules. The Swartzentruber Amish are the most extreme. We're talking no indoor plumbing, no electricity, and rules so strict that even other Amish groups think they're intense. So when I mention specific practices, I'll tell you which communities actually enforce them, because some of this stuff, you won't believe it's happening in 2024. Let's get into it. Number 13. They can never cut their hair, ever. From the day an Amish woman is born until the day she dies, she cannot cut her hair. Not a trim, not a style, nothing. This comes from a literal interpretation of 1 Corinthians 11:15, which says, "A woman's long hair is her glory." But here's where it gets wild. According to ex-Amish author Emma Gingerich, who escaped a Swartzentruber community in 2006, this rule extends to all body hair too. Legs, underarms, everything. Shaving simply doesn't exist. Gingerich wrote in her memoir, Runaway Amish Girl, that after she escaped, other ex-Amish women had to teach her basic grooming practices that she'd never learned. Her hair must be worn in a middle-parted bun, pinned under a head covering at all times. And traditionally, only her husband ever sees it unbound. But that hair rule, that's just the beginning. Number 12. Buttons are forbidden. You'd think buttons are pretty harmless, right? Not for Amish women. Buttons are considered too decorative and a source of vanity. So instead, Amish women's dresses are held together with straight pins. Actual metal pins are stuck through the fabric. Ruth Irene Garrett, who wrote the memoir Crossing Over about her escape from the Amish, confirmed that her dresses were literally held together by pins. In the most conservative Swartzentruber communities, women can only wear dark green or dark blue dresses. No patterns, no prints. The fabric has to have so many pleats that it hides any shape of a woman's body. And if buttons seem extreme, wait until you hear what else they can't wear. Number 11. No wedding rings, no jewelry, no makeup, period. Amish women cannot wear any cosmetics, jewelry, nail polish, or perfume. This includes wedding rings. That's right. Amish couples don't exchange rings when they get married. This comes from 1 Peter 3:3-4, which says a woman's beauty should come from within, not from outward adornment. So no earrings, no necklaces, no bracelets, no wristwatches. The only documented exception. Some youth groups allow copper rings claimed to help with arthritis, but that's it. So how do you know if an Amish woman is married? That brings us to the next rule. Number 10. The head. Covering that never comes off. Starting around age 4, Amish girls begin wearing head coverings. By age 12 or 13, they wear the full cap that stays on their heads for the rest of their lives. The color tells you her status. In most communities, married women wear white. Single women wear black to church. On her wedding day, an Amish bride wears a black silk cap during the ceremony, then immediately changes to white the moment she is married. But here's the detail that shocked me. In conservative groups like the Swartzentruber, women must wear a black bonnet over the cap whenever they are outside. It doesn't matter if it is 95 degrees in July, the bonnet stays on. And speaking of weddings, this next one is genuinely creepy. Number 9. Her wedding dress becomes her burial shroud. An Amish wedding dress is plain, long-sleeved and typically blue or purple. No train, no lace, no veil, no flowers. After the wedding, this same dress becomes her Sunday church outfit. She will wear it to services for years, maybe decades. And then, she gets buried in it. The same dress she wore on her wedding day is the dress she will be buried in when she dies. The Amish see this as practical and a rejection of materialism, but still, Imagine looking at your wedding dress and knowing it is also your funeral dress. Now, the rules we have covered so far are strict, but they are nothing compared to what comes next. Number 8. Education is forcibly ended at 8th grade. In 1972, the United States Supreme Court ruled in Wisconsin versus Yoder that Amish children cannot be forced to attend school beyond 8th grade. The vote was 7-0. The court found that high school curriculum was in sharp conflict with Amish values. So while other American teenagers are learning algebra and biology, Amish girls are done with formal education forever. But here's what the ruling didn't mention. According to Professor Karen Johnson Weiner from SUNY Potsdam, who spent decades researching Amish communities, the teachers in Amish schools are typically unmarried women aged 18 to 22, who themselves only have an 8th grade education. Emma Gingerich claims that in her Swartzentruber community, she wasn't even taught that the earth was round. At age 15, she didn't know the internet existed. Tora Bontrager, another ex-Amish woman who escaped at 15, eventually became the first known Amish escapee to graduate from Columbia University. But wanting that education, it got her branded a traitor destined for hell. And now we're getting to the rules that genuinely shocked me. Starting with number 7. Number 7. Bundling. Yes, it's exactly what you think. This one is wild. In some Amish communities, there's a courtship practice called bundling, where an unmarried couple lies together in the same bed, fully clothed, usually in the woman's upstairs bedroom. Emma Gingerich described this in her Swartzentruber community. Family members would bring a potential suitor to her room at night when she was 16. Her exact words: "You're supposed to wake up and talk to the guy. In your room, stay overnight. In your bed." Historically, a wooden board was placed between them. But here's the thing. Ex-Amish author Saloma Miller Furlong wrote that kissing, hugging and necking were acceptable during bundling, called eshmunzling. They just weren't supposed to have intercourse. Not all Amish do this. The New Order, Amish specifically banned it when they split from Old Order. But in Swartzentruber communities, it's still practiced today. And sometimes bundling leads to pregnancy before marriage, which brings us to the next rule. Number 6. Birth control is forbidden, even if pregnancy could kill you. According to research published in PubMed, birth control and abortion are forbidden by religious doctrine, even when pregnancy is life-threatening. Even if another pregnancy could kill an Amish woman, she cannot use contraception. The results speak for themselves. In Swartzentruber communities in Buchanan County, Iowa, women have an average of 10.2 children. Research shows 47% of Swartzentruber families have 9 or more kids. Academic research from the Young Center for Anabaptist Studies notes something haunting. Amish men outlive Amish women, in part because of the high birth rate. The constant pregnancies take a physical toll that can shorten their lives, but the pregnancy rules don't stop there. Number 5. Childbirth happens at home with minimal medical care. According to Hurst and McConnell's academic study, an Amish paradox, only 20% of Swartzentruber births happen in hospitals, the rest at home. Amish women average 5.5 prenatal visits compared to 11 for typical non-Amish women. Less than 5% get prenatal care early in pregnancy, and pregnancy is not publicly announced or celebrated. Women continue active farm work throughout pregnancy, then give birth at home with a midwife. No pain medication. Cost is a factor since Amish pay all medical bills out of pocket without insurance. A hospital birth costs $7,000 or more, while midwives charge much less. But what happens when things go wrong? That decision is often out of her hands. Number 4. Rumspringa is stricter for women. You've probably heard of Rumspringa, the period starting at 16 when Amish youth can experience the outside world before deciding to join the church. What you might not know: boys get way more freedom than girls. Academic sources confirm that in many communities, Rumspringa is a period when some Amish youth, boys more than girls, experience greater freedom. Gingerich explained, For Amish women, they're very secluded and always kept in the dark. Boys might work outside the community and experiment with cars. Girls typically stay close to home, working at family farm stands or caring for siblings. And despite the mythology around Rumspringa, 85 to 90% of Amish youth return to join the church. For most, the decision was a foregone conclusion because leaving has consequences, terrifying consequences. Number 3. She must submit to her husband in everything. Based on Ephesians 5:22 to 24, Amish communities teach that the head of any woman is man. Women cannot hold church leadership positions. They do not preach. Men and women sit separately at church services. Husbands have final say in spiritual and societal matters. Academics such as Professor Johnson Viner argue the reality is more nuanced. She documented one husband joking, "I am more afraid of my wife than my bishop." Women do vote on church matters and often control household finances. But officially, the hierarchy is clear. And if a woman disagrees with her husband or the church, that brings us to the most psychologically devastating rules. Number 2. Shunning can destroy everything. When a baptized Amish person leaves the church or breaks the rules, they face Meidung or shunning. Saloma Miller. Furlong documented 4 core restrictions. Church members cannot eat at the same table with a shunned person, cannot conduct business with them, cannot ride in a car driven by them, and cannot receive gifts from them. Furlong experienced this herself. At first, her family ate with her during visits. Then the community criticized them. Her mother had to place a card table 6 inches away from the main table, so they were not technically eating together. Eventually, her parents confessed in church for the sin of eating with their own daughter. In Swartzentruber communities, it gets worse. Johnson Viner documented a couple who no longer mention a married daughter who joined a conservative Mennonite church. They have not seen the 2 grandchildren born since she left. And here's the trap. Church members who refuse to participate in shunning get shunned themselves. But there is one shunning rule that genuinely disturbed me. Number 1. Shunning can mean no intimacy with your own spouse. In the strictest communities practicing streng Meidung, if one spouse is under the ban, the couple can continue living together, but they cannot have sexual relations. Let me say that again. A husband and wife, still married, still living in the same house, are forbidden from being intimate because one of them questioned the church. This is maintained for life unless the shunned person returns to their specific home church. Even joining another Swartzentruber district results in continued shunning. Dr. Kipling Williams at Purdue University found that ostracism activates the same brain region as physical pain. PMC research states that shunned individuals may experience intense trauma and a loss of identity. Many report a lifelong struggle. Furlong spent years in intensive therapy after leaving. The organization STOP mandated shunning calls it a social death penalty, noting it has resulted in suicide in extreme cases. So there you have it. 13 rules that control every aspect of an Amish woman's life, from the hair on her head to the clothes on her body to the family she's allowed to speak to. Now look, I'm not here to say their entire way of life is wrong. These are sincere religious beliefs that have been practiced for centuries. But when women like Emma Gingerich, Saloma Miller Furlong, and Tora Bontrager risk everything to escape, face shunning from their own families, and then spend years in therapy recovering, that tells you something. If you want more videos like this, hit like and subscribe.